So, good evening, Kutis, and welcome to another amazing episode of Inspiring Young Minds. We are at session 38, and today is an activity based session, which I'm super excited about. Whenever you think about, okay, you started Inspiring Young Minds, and now it's almost 9.5 months. Time flies, right? And it's so happy that we are able to groom all of you into very nice children, and that is very important. And we're having fun too, right? It's not only about learning new things, it's also about having fun. And I know many of you have started sharing all your activities with us, and it gives us so much of pleasure to go through what you do, and the way you like our sessions and the feedbacks you give, and on a personal level when you talk to us, it really means a lot, right? So with no further ado, I want to start today's presentation, and the topic today is going to be finger painting. Now, when I say finger, please don't think it's only one finger or anything. It could be all 5 fingers. It could be the entire hand or the palm. It could be your, side of the palm. It could be anywhere, but it's going to be only with the hands. It's not going to be with paint and brush, right? Usually when we think about painting, we are talking about a paint and a brush, right? But today we're going to talk about art where there's no brush, it's only your hands and natural brushes. Okay, so with that, we're going to start the session, right? So let me share the presentation. Okay, so I'm sure you're all able to see the presentation. And today we are on Inspiring Young Minds session 38. And as I told you, our topic is finger painting. And, even to look at this picture, it looks so beautiful, right? So you just think the different fingers can give you actually different sizes of images you want. And you can use different colors so that, it look very beautiful. And the rest is creativity. You can do whatever you want, right? So let's go a little into the details of what this finger painting is all about. Okay, so finger painting is basically a kind of a painting or a creativity done. You can learn colors with this, like, as you take the colors, you can teach children about the colors. And it is usually done with very small children to help them enjoy what work they can do. But sometimes even adults can also try and do this, and we can use it to many different types of creative art forms. So here you can see a hot air balloon with a lot of colors, a mix of colors, and you look at it, it looks very vibrant and nice, right? So it teaches children the use of colors, and how you can mold the colors and compatibility of the colors. All of that is what you can learn. If you just thought this is a simple art form, then I want to tell you that this has a lot of inner meaning and depth. An American educator called Ruth Faison Shaw, she was the one who's got credited for introducing these kind of finger painting. And this is like an art. So, you can get into the art medium where you can educate and teach people. So like you have embroidery, like you have other art forms like, oil on canvas, you have pastel art, you have watercolors, you have all of that. This also becomes a kind of an art form, which is very important. And then she developed her techniques in Rome, Italy, and patented it as a safe, non-toxic paint in 1931, which means, see, whenever you're thinking about children doing these kind of work, just imagine a small child, right? After doing this, if they take their finger and put it in their mouth, is it going to be fine with them? So she was very particular that the paints they use were also non-toxic, so that in case a child puts the finger in the oral cavity, the child should be safe. and after developing this as a way of expression. So generally, when you think about painting itself, you are looking at self-expression. Now, when you ask any artist, like, why they drew what they have drawn, then, they say, I just felt like this. If you ask them, why did you pick these colors? Why did you choose this theme? They said, inside my mind, this is what I felt, and that is how I put it into paper. So whenever we do these kind of art forms with children, generally what happens is, whatever you want to speak, maybe not with words, but whatever is your inner feeling can actually come out as an expression, as a medium for these children to express themselves. So especially in areas where children are not very comfortable in communication, sometimes when they have certain medical issues or certain limitations in their mind, or if they have a certain kind of a depression or anything which is bothering the children, these expressive art forms really help. And so what Ruth Faison Shaw did, she devoted her attention to the benefits or the therapeutic benefits of these kind of painting. At the request of Carl Menninger, she taught also at the Menninger School. So this is a foundation and it is in Kansas in United States. So she went to teach there, and then she served as a consultant in the Department of Psychiatry at the Memorial Hospital in the University of North Carolina at Chapel. So this is very important because see, not only she developed the art form, she also made it as an educative medium, and then she went into therapeutic way. And whenever people were a little upset in their minds, she was able to help them bring out. And as she was working at the Memorial Hospital, she met a psychologist. His name was John Thomas Paine, and Paine later actually followed this art form and continued it till his death in 2000. Okay, so this is very important. And both Shaw and Paine's work actually continues even today at the studio in Durham in North Carolina. And the founder and the director of this the Shaw School and Studio is Brian Carey. And he also worked along with Paine from 1986 to 1993. And as Paine had suggested him, he had devoted an additional 7 years to the study of this historic figure, artist, who is Ruth Shaw. And she was a teacher and a therapist. So he spent a lot more time understanding, as I told you, why she did what she did. So that was very important. And then after Carey, Jennifer Falchi, she continued this Shaw Paine tradition, and she started spreading this by traveling and teaching their method of artistic self-explanation, and also a kind of emotional healing, so that people of any age group, it is not only for children, it is for any age group where they could actually self-express themselves. There is a finger painting artist. His name is Nick Benjamin, and he claims to prefer to paint using the fingers, as the technique gives a real bonding between the artist and the artwork, and also allows for some intricate designs which cannot be achievable by brushes. So you can look at this tree and you can see how beautifully with small dots and big dots, especially with the fingers. As I told you, you can use any finger to bring about this kind of depth, and that's how they did it. And another popular finger artist named Iris Scott, she also uses her hands and follows her intuition, which means it is not a planned kind of a drawing. It's a very creative form. Another artist called Jimmy Lee, he also explained that, he can paint with his fingers because when you look at a brush, there is an age for the brush. It can get worn out, it can get blunt, anything can happen. But your fingers, it doesn't happen that way, right? So you can use it. That's why it called it the natural brushes, right? And finger paint, when you actually start working with it repeatedly by means of decalcomania on the same paper, tends to generate fractals as studied by the Yale University. university. So that's also some additional information which you can actually get. Many people do portraits with finger painting. So, that is the way the art has actually grown leaps and bounds. So although we say that the paint is applied with the fingers, experts say that you can use any part of your body, the hands, the arms, the lower arms, the legs also. And I'm sure many a times you would have seen certain children or adults who don't have hands or legs, or who are differently abled, and they paint and they draw and they do wonderful activities with their body. And that is one way of self-expression. So when you use the entire body arm, so like sometimes when you're painting the entire arm, you can use to create some kind of design or depth. Some people also use sponges, so you can take a sponge and then you can use it so that it gets texture. Some people take cloth and also do. Some people take paper, they crush the paper and then put it on the paint, and then they place it on the paper and create this kind of depth. So you can use any other tools also if you want to get some different kind of a texture. And many artists, as I told you, use these kind of traditional finger painting, or only fingers to do it. And this style is called as the reckless art, and it gives a wonderful feel to the artist, and when you see the creativity also. So painters like Tyler Ramsey said that they would never even touch a brush. Sometimes people use surgical gloves only because sometimes they use these paints which are toxic oils or something like that. And then at those times they don't want to, because people eat with their hands, they don't want to use that with the hands by themselves. So this is so very important, and this reckless art actually started way back in 2002, almost 20 years back. So finger painting, as I told you, is a great way for a child to explore. So especially in small children, you can give them a real big chart paper and, mix some colors and give it to them, and let them understand the colors. Let them do what they want. Some people, just take the paint and place it on their palms and just take an impression of the palms and keep it. And some people learn colors through this, and it just gives them a kind of a way to explore themselves and learn and develop a lot through that sensory play. So it is more of a play activity than actually seeing what they have created or what they have done. And sometimes these children, when they touch it, they can even feel the cold feel of the paint, and they like the texture of the paint. They try to analyze or observe a lot more things, which encourages their creativity. So it is a good way of actually helping the child express themselves. And there is a lot to color psychology also here. Usually when children pick up some colors like yellow, they feel very happy. Sometimes if they are very angry, or they pick up the color red. Sometimes when they are very calm, they pick up the color blue. Sometimes when they are in a mood for growth, then they pick up the color green. And most of the color psychology also plays a very important part, especially when the child is trying to express themselves. So we will allow the children to take these colors so we can understand more about them. So this finger paint, as I told you, is a non-toxic one. It is sold in packages of 6, which are very bright in color, and this can also be made at home. So if you're thinking about making at home, you can use a flour or a cornstarch. I will share the recipe of it shortly, so that you can understand that you can make and help your children use it. And this can also be used in instant pudding, where you want to use the finger paint, or you can basically help the child explore themselves with this finger paint. And I told you these are edible also, so you can make these edible finger paints also, which is good for children, very small babies, toddlers, where they are mostly going to take anything and everything and put it into their oral cavity or into their mouth. And it is very difficult for you to always monitor. You might say don't do it or anything, no, or anything like that, but children are very they just take it and put it in their mouth, and you will not have any time to take out their fingers. So this can be the first experience for such children, especially like they know that in case even if they put it into the oral cavity, it is fine, till the children understand what you are trying to tell them. So how do you make these colors? You can take 4 tablespoons of sugar and half a cup of cornstarch together and actually mix it over a medium heat and do it till the mixture is really thick. And then what you can do is you can add whatever food color. You get these food colors, especially when you're making cakes and puddings and all, you get these food color. You can mix those food colors also as you want. So once you make the base mixture, you can actually divide it into the number of food colors you have, and then you can mix it and then you can keep it. And then you can start asking the child to do. So here you can see the child has done a finger painting with festive lights, and it looks so colorful and so bright. And then you can just mix and join all of them with a pen or something like that. So it gives a beautiful color combination, and it brightens up and it makes you feel very nice when you look at such creations. So what are the benefits of these finger painting? So as I told you, you can help children learn about the colors, and you can mix the primary colors. So here you can see how using the entire hand, they have made fishes and they have made chicken and hen and all that. And what are the primary colors? You have the yellow, you have the red, and you have the blue. So when you mix all these 3 colors, you will get a lot of other colors. For example, when I mix red and yellow, I will get orange. When I mix yellow and blue, I will get green. And when I mix red and blue, I will get violet. So these primary colors are the basic colors. And then you can mix them to get the secondary colors. And then you can actually keep mixing to get the other colors. This also supports sensory integration, which is very important. It also improves the fine motor development by strengthening the finger and the hand muscles. There's also learning about shape, color, and spatial relationships. Like, you draw one diagram and then the other, you can see the distance and you can teach them, see, this is close, this is far away. You can teach them about squares and rectangles and circles, especially when you're using your hand to draw. So it gives a kind of understanding of things. And using hearing, touching, and smelling senses, the finger painting can also aid in trying to get all the organs involved. And this is a great way to actually develop the child's mind, and it gives a kind of a very creative way of encouraging for the child to develop their fine motor skills and helping them to actually express themselves. So what is creativity, if you ask me? Creativity is predominantly understanding that, the child is allowed to do what they want to do. It is like giving them a free hand to do what they want to do. They are not, you don't have to give some boundaries and allow them to work. So this helps them imagine, it lets them conceptualize, and then it helps them put it into a paper. And that is the way the creativity actually comes. And you can, as I told you, you can use other paper or whatever it is. Like, you can use sponges to create the texture, and just that the area does not get messy, you can keep a newspaper so that the children can sit on the newspaper and do it. Otherwise, mothers might find it difficult in cleaning up the entire area. So you can just put it as an activity, put up some newspapers, make the child sit in the center, and then start working on it. And you can put some light clothes for the child, so that they even if they put paint on the clothes or on themselves, it's okay with them. So it is like fun time with the child, and it is like when you can bond with the child better, not as an adult and a child, but like two little friends playing with each other. So this also promotes a stress relief and any mental health issues, especially even children today are, forced to do a lot of things because the families have become very nuclear. You have one or only two children. So everything and anything is actually pressurized on that one or two children to achieve in life. So they have to remember numbers, they have to remember color, they have to be logical, and you have the right brain and the left brain which actually has to work in unison. So sometimes when children don't do well, parents get very upset with them, and the child can absolutely shun themselves, and these kind of activities can actually bring back that fun element in the child, and help them communicate better, not only in words but also by using this as an art form. And it also helps them expand their creative growth. They will see certain things, and then when they do it, they're able to reproduce it, and it bolsters memory because of the power of reproduction. It also enhances problem solving and motor skills. So whenever a child is taking something and spilling on the paint also, they can create that into a beautiful artwork instead of because you can't rub anything here, like, so you will be able to actually enhance yourself in a much better way. It also cultivates an emotional growth, and it stimulates an optimistic attitude towards life. It also encourages cognitive development, and it strengthens the hand and the finger, which helps in the fine motor skill. And overall, it's a fun time. You can see here how the baby hands are being used to make a turtle inside the water. So it's very creative when you can actually do that and make it. From an occupational therapist point of view, you can use the finger painting to improve the fine motor skills, as I told you, and the smaller muscles of the child get developed, and it gets strengthened, and it's a fun way of doing an exercise instead of just making the child sit and play and run and things like that. You can use it in a very creative way, and it also helps the child to be very expressive and receptive towards language skills. So they would not only learn colors, they would learn a lot of other things. Like in this picture, they would learn about colors, they would learn about what is there in the water world, and what are the animals, and parts of the body. So many things you can actually start to share it with the child. So what are your activity for today? You can make your masterpiece, my dear children, with your finger or hand painting. And this can give a kind of a lot of creativity, especially, and have fun when you do this. This is not like a homework or anything like that. I want you to enjoy, relax yourself, and do it after you complete your homework. When you want to really feel light, I want you to sit and do this, so that you feel very happy at the end of the day. And when you showcase it, it makes you feel very proud of yourself. So at Inspiring Young Minds, we have our WhatsApp group, and you're all free to join it. You can let us know. You can like, share, subscribe, comment, and press the bell icon. And this is our YouTube channel, the Team Red Rockstars, Dr. Vidyaa Smile Dental Clinic. And thank you so much for being a patient audience. And yeah, give me a second. I'm going to come back. And just before I, throw open the questions time, I also want you all to know that generally, when you think about doing a rangoli, and during Krishna Jayanti especially, right, in Indian households, we generally take this side of the palm, and we put it in the mixed flour, and then we use it even for rangoli, for making the thing. So think about all the creative things you can do just with finger and hand painting, and look at the kind of masterpieces you can do. So think about it, and work on the colors, and work on anything you want, and then do share it with us. So then okay, Kutis. So, it was so wonderful talking to all of you today. And So wonderful sharing this, art form, right? And I'm going to wait for all of you to show me your paintings, and it's going to be a wonderful time. I'm sure you're going to enjoy the work as much as I enjoyed sharing this presentation with you. So take care, cuties. Love you, and lots of good luck to you through the weekend. And stay blessed, stay safe, and be in touch. Okay? So take care.